Hey, what's going on there, guys? Nick here from Absolute MTG, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Gifts of the Gods intro pack from Born of the Gods. As you guys can see here, it is white and blue, and like the other intro packs that we've opened up here on the channel, we are going to be taking a look at the pre-made 60-card deck that comes in with this intro pack, and we're going to crack open the booster packs that are included. You get 2 sealed booster packs of Born of the Gods, and we're going to see what we can do to improve this deck, and do just kind of like a little building exercise with it. So, we have our pre-made deck here, and we also have a few things in here. We have our 2 booster packs of Born of the Gods, and we have a insert for how to play Magic, and another insert for the intro packs, for those of you guys that are interested in seeing the deck lists for all the different intro packs. And it's kind of good if you want to buy another one of the intro packs and you don't know like what comes in each one of them. So we have all of that, which I'm going to put off to the side. We are going to take a look at our deck here. And each one of the intro packs is going to pretty much be the same. And this one doesn't even have a tab to be able to tear it open, which is kind of weird. So we're going to try and just kind of pry this open, because usually they come with that perforated tab on them where you can just kind of rip it apart. But this one doesn't, so it's kind of annoying to... there we go. To have to try to open it without it on camera, like without any sort of help or anything like that. So we have Silent Sentinel here, so that's our first card. The intro packs are going to come with 1 foil rare and 1 regular rare. So our foil rare here is Silent Sentinel, so 4/6 for 7 mana, flying, and whenever it attacks we get to return an enchantment card from our graveyard to the battlefield. We have a Hopeful Eidolon. We have a Nyxborn Shieldmate. We have 2 of those actually. Yoked Ox. Traveling Philosopher. We have a Flitterstep Eidolon. Pillar of War. Ghostblade Eidolon. We have 2 of those. Lagonna-Band Elder. Nyxborn Triton. And 2 of those. Great Hart. We have Heliod's Emissary. Coastline Chimera, Thassa's Emissary. We have a Floodtide Serpent. We have 2 of those actually. Griffin Dreamfinder. And then we have our basic lands, so we just have some plains and some islands, and we're going to count them in a bit here. With the other intro packs that I've opened up on the channel, most of the intro packs have came with like 25 or 26 lands, which isn't really... necessary in all the different cases for some of these decks, so we may adjust the land base. Then we have Hold at Bay, Ordeal of Heliod. We have Gift of Immortality, so that's our other rare that we get inside of here. So it's an enchantment, and we are going to enchant creature. Whenever the enchanting creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control, and return Gift of Immortality to the battlefield attached to that creature at the beginning of the next end step. And we have Divination to draw us some cards. Excoriate. Sunbond. Griptide. Vanquish the Foul. And Eternity Snare. So, looks like a pretty interesting deck. Of course, it has like that kind of theme with playing around enchantments, and we can bounce back enchantments with Floodtide Serpent and like recast them and stuff. It would be pretty sweet to get some heroic going on in here, if we can pull some heroic stuff, but we'll see just what we pull out of our booster packs here. So the booster packs are random. You can't really hope to pull anything out of these, but it's just a kind of good example to be able to go through these packs, see what we can pull, and then just kind of talk about things that we could possibly substitute. So we have Revoke Existence, Scouring Sands, Charging Badger, another Floodtide Serpent, Fellhide Brawler, Ifera's Radiance. We have Culling Mark, Loyal Pegasus, Grizzly Transformation, Nyxborn Rollicker, Oracle's Insight, Unravel the Aether, We have Siren of the Silent Song. And Fated Conflagration is our rare here, so it's an instant for 4. And it's going to deal 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If it's your turn, you are going to be able to scry 2, which is pretty nice actually. So we have that as our rare. Unfortunately, it's not in our colors here. Then we have a plains and we have a soldier token. So we do have some things here in our colors. So we're just going to basically look at things by color, and then we're going to try and see if we can make any substitutes. So let me move everything down a little bit so everything's on camera. There we go. So second booster pack. I mean, all of these decks come with like some weak points and some like weaker cards, so we'll try and see what we can do. We have another Fellhide Brawler, as Swordwise Centaur, Griffin Dreamfinder, Eye Gouge, Fearsome Temper, Evanescent Intellect, Claim of Erebos, Impetuous Sunchaser, Fairy's Band Tromper, Crypsis, Peregrination, Archetype of Courage, this pretty sweet card, Pinnacle of Rage, and we have Arbiter of the Ideal. That's actually really sweet. So this card is definitely playable for us. It's a 4/5 for 6 flying, and off of Inspired, whenever it becomes untapped, reveal the top card of our library. If it's an artifact, creature, or a land card, we may put it onto the battlefield with a manifestation counter on it. That permanent is an enchantment in addition to its other types. That's really sweet. Then a forest and a centaur enchantment token. So that's actually really sweet. Like I mentioned with the land base though, that's probably the first thing that we want to look at for cutting cards. We do have some high-end drops, like we have Eternity Snare and we have Silent Sentinel, so those are more of like high-end drops for us. Also Vanquish the Foul. I don't think we have any other big creatures. Floodtide Serpent's 5. Dreamfinder's 5. So yeah, 5 is pretty much the highest our creatures go, with the exception of Silent Sentinel. But for lands, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 plains. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 islands. So since we're at 26, I'd probably go and cut 1 plains just because we have so many plains, cutting it down to 15 and 10. So we'll take out the 1 plains there, just kind of to make adjustments, and from there we can go and try to add something like Arbiter. Arbiter is probably the first thing that I want to add in. Arbiter is just such a sweet card, and it's a pretty easy one to find. All of like the promo cards that come in the intro packs and that came for the pre-release are pretty highly printed and show up a whole lot in like booster packs and booster boxes. So Arbiter's a pretty easy find in terms of rares, but he's a pretty sweet card nonetheless for this type of like a starter deck or casual deck. So Arbiter definitely can find his way into this deck. I don't know. Otherwise, I mean, there's not a whole lot of stuff that's necessarily bad here for like a beginner deck. Yoked Ox maybe would be something to take out, where we can play something like Archetype of Courage, which is a much more flexible card. It's a 2/2 for 3. Creatures you control have first strike, and creatures your opponents control will lose first strike, and they can't get first strike. So that's probably a sweet card to be able to put in here, and it's an enchantment creature. It plays into the whole enchantment theme going on here. Crypsis is target creature you control gains protection from other creatures. That's definitely playable for us. Let me move that Yoked Ox to the other side. So Crypsis is playable. Evanescent Intellect, not so much. It's a card that mills, so it's not really playing off of anything in our deck. We have another Dreamfinder, so we can return enchantments from our graveyard to our hand, so that may be playable for us. Oracle's Insight. Maybe, again, we don't have a whole lot of inspired stuff going on, but it allows us to have 1 creature be able to tap, describe 1, and then draw a card. Loyal Pegasus, probably not. It can't attack or block alone, and it's kind of one of those creatures that you want to be playing in an aggressive deck where you're having like a lot of 1 and 2 drops and stuff like that, whereas with this deck we're just kind of playing around like more middle of the curve, like 4 and 5 drop creatures. As far as Radiance, or Affairs Radiance is another one of those enchantments that lets us gain back life. Not necessarily mandatory in this type of a deck. Floodtide Serpent, however, is another one of those cards that just kind of interacts well. So we may play that. And Revoke Existence, it really just depends. If you're trying to play like more competitively against like other people and stuff like that, it's a good sideboard card for this type of a deck where you can side it in if you see your opponent's playing a lot of enchantments and artifacts and stuff. So Revoke Existence is probably more of like a sideboard bound card than anything else, but I do actually kind of want to put the Dreamfinder, Serpent, and Crypsis in here. Maybe Crypsis, but Crypsis is a sweet card nonetheless. So things that we could take out. I mean, Great Hart is a little bit lacking, so maybe we'll take out one Great Hart to be able to play another Floodtide Serpent. The Great Hart really doesn't have any amazing qualities to it. It's really just a 2/4 for 4. Dreamfinder, I guess we could probably cut the other one too. The rest of our stuff's probably just fine. I mean, we have 2/2s for 2. We have 1/2s for 1 that bestow. So yeah, I mean, we can cut the other Great Hart just to play a Dreamfinder. That way we have 3 Dreamfinders and we have 3 Serpents, giving us a pretty good probability of being able to draw one or the other of them. Both cards interacting well with the enchantment theme that we have going on. So we actually did pull a few cards here that would ultimately help us be able to improve our deck. And Crypsis, we may or may not even play it. It's a card that doesn't need to be in here. It's not like it's going to give us some massive synergy or anything like that, but it's still a pretty sweet card for 2 mana and instant speed. So that is our quick little rundown for the intro pack here, and some quick substitutions and talk about cards that we pulled out of the booster packs. If you guys enjoyed the video and would like to see more Magic the Gathering content, I would appreciate it if you thumbs up the video and subscribe to the channel for more Magic the Gathering content. If you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more Magic the Gathering content, you can hit the subscribe button on the screen and you'll be notified whenever a new video is available. And for those of you guys that enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh!, you can check out my Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel by clicking on the video in the top right hand corner. Also, be sure to check out our sponsors for the channel, ABU Games and Europe's MTG Madness, for all of your Magic the Gathering needs, no matter where you are.